Hello everyone, hope you're all well and thanks very much for all the support with my videos. I'm very grateful. Today I want to speak about the demonstrations that took place in Coolock last night. There was a peaceful assembly, a few thousand people attended. They marched down to the Garda station in Coolock to hand over a letter because of the treatment of people in Coolock over the last number of days by the police forces, pepper spraying and a lot of other issues going on in terms of the mistreatment of ordinary people. Then they proceeded to come back up towards the Crown Paints factory site. And then afterwards I saw public order units, inverted commas, were deployed, which got very aggressive towards the protesters. There was a fire on the premises as well. Took hold at one point just after the demonstration took place, and as I said, the police forces moved in to disperse the crowd quite aggressively again, and there was a lot of videos of that stuff going on again, which again shows you the act of democracy is peaceful assembly. It's sacrosanct in the Irish Constitution. And also we've seen huge attacks on basic people who have serious concerns because of lack of public services in their communities. And this is a huge issue. But again, so many people are profiting from this crisis. It's becoming a huge money-making industry. And in terms of the language around this as well, hasn't been really surprising. Because I spoke on a previous video about the commentary coming from Timmy Dooley from Fianna Fáil, who said the authorities have to be battle ready. So when you get that language coming out without any proper consultation, without any real engagement, and without people being involved in the decision-making process, what does it lead to? It's like they want to lead to civil unrest rather than dealing with the underlying issues that people are facing in terms of ordinary working class people facing huge disadvantage. And it's also important, as I said, the profiteering that's going on as well. And here I am in an area of Dublin 8, and I'll just show you something that's going on here as well. This is a community centre, the Nora Youth and Community Centre. There was a fire here about over 4 years ago. And this has been idle ever since. And it's planned to get renovated and be ready for early 2026. So there's plenty of money for various industries to suit the government's agenda, but absolutely nothing when it comes to local basic services in communities. Now there's been a lot of halls in the area that have closed down over the last number of years. And this is an area that's getting heavily gentrified as well, because you can see the old Teresa Gardens flats and the big development with the Player Will site around the back here, where we can see Hines, a huge multinational, moving in to build unaffordable build-to-rent apartments. So many young people rely on a basic service in this community, don't have it. Elderly people to go in to meet their friends, to have a cup of tea and a chat, don't have anywhere to go. And there's no even sporting facilities in this area, and there is groups involved in trying to campaign for pitches around Marybone Lane, hurling clubs, rugby clubs, football clubs that rely on basic public services. But what did the government respond? They kick the can down the road. And they wonder why there's issues in working class communities. And again, as I said, the profiteering that's gone on in the immigration industry. We have Townby Limited, who have made 43.5 million over the last number of years off their contracts. They've had their own contracts with direct provision centres in Kerry, the Skellig Star Hotel, where a lot of the residents took to the streets to protest because of the inhumane conditions they were living in that direct provision centre. And Paul Collins, who's the owner of Townby and an owner of this new site out in Crown Paints in Coolock as well, has been profiting hugely from this as well, as we've said, and he was part of the bailed out generation of developers during the financial crash. But again, they've turned a corner and they're profiting from the immigration industry. So there's plenty of money in the immigration industry, no money for basic services in working class communities such as here in Donora Avenue in Dublin 8. And they wonder why people are up in arms. This is neoliberal policies, this is what it's led to, and we know who's profiting from the whole immigration, as I said, industry in terms of the huge profiteers from it as well. So it's vitally important people stand with our communities, stand with working class people. They should be part of the decision making process, and their needs need to be met in all of our communities all around Dublin. And when you see the empty community centres, it just shows you the contempt that's at play for ordinary working class people in our communities all around our city and all around our country as well. So the rural and urban issues are quite united in terms of lack of services. So thanks for joining me in my video today. Thanks for all the support. Please press subscribe to my YouTube channel. It shows the system at play where the politicians represent the status quo, represent the super rich, represent the billionaires, and don't represent the needs of ordinary people who suffer with years of neglect and state-sponsored abuse. So thanks for all the support. Take care. All the best. Bye bye. Salam.